You're listening to the Smash Bros. Cast, episode 60. I'm your host, N64 Josh, my co-host and sparring partner, Nightcrawler. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? It's Amiibo Day.
Dude, happy Amiibo Day.
Happy birthday to Josh, too.
Oh, yes. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Speaking of that, we're doing a birthday stream tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. There's going to be giveaways. I may pull out the guitar a little bit, do a little song, little dance. All right? Probably no dancing, but...
I was going to say, you can't afford that with your viewer count.
These are fake tears. That's okay. I'm not really crying. All right, guys, you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. Pick up something awesome like Console Wars, Ready Player One, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. N64josh.com/OP Seat automatically saves you $10 at checkout. They're $20 off right now and free shipping. You're talking about a savings of, I think, close to $80 right now. So that's huge. That's huge. So if you want to get yourself a gaming chair, I highly recommend these. I love this chair. I sit in it a lot because you guys know how much I'm constantly streaming and recording podcasts. So, yeah, check them out. N64josh.com/OP Seat. And lastly, you want to check out my book, Another Castle? I have an audio version. You can go to n64josh.com/Another Castle. That's going to do it for that. We're going to jump into the announcements. All right. Well, Mondays, call-in show. We're doing it live, twitch.tv/N64Josh, anywhere between the times of 5:30 and 7:30. Kind of depends on Crawler's schedule with his kids and the wife and all that stuff. So anytime around there. This show we record live, twitch.tv/N64Josh, Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're a little late today because, just life, right? Second Saturday of every month, we have our tournament. All right. And we just did it last weekend, and it turned out pretty good. And I think with that, we're just going to transition right into our tournament news and talk about February's tournament. Kenrick took the number one spot with Cloud. Some great Cloud gameplay. Decoy was Mega Man and Dark Pit, and he took second. He had a good run. And King Killa took third. We saw so much great gameplay. It was unreal. So make sure to tune in for the next one. Make sure to sign up. It started off a little hectic. I was a little bit stressed out. I was trying to get Smash.gg to work, and the site is amazing.
We think we got it now, though, right?
Yes, the site's amazing, but just a little bit tough if you are kind of new to it. And but we're good. So that's what we'll be using from this point forward. I literally went into my Discord and created 20 new channels so people could communicate there. And I thought I was going to have to register everybody's scores. And literally, I've never been sweating and so stressed out on stream before as I was that night, because it took me 40 minutes to get it going. I do want to give a huge shout out to AV from Beyond the Metagame. Go listen to that podcast if you want to get better at Smash and get good advice. Or at least better advice than what we give. And he came through, was able to help me get timers set up. Crawler then jumped in and was able to start figuring some stuff out. The hardest part was just getting it started. Once I got it started, we were pretty much good to go.
It didn't help that I was sick and sleeping when the tournament started.
Yeah, Crawler almost got DQ'd from sleeping through his... It's pretty funny. Also, huge shout out to Danderson, who won January's tournament. He came on, did some commentary. It was a good time. Yep. So, really looking forward to doing that more often. Maybe even do one or two a month. Who knows?
With this kind of setup now on Smash.gg, we might. Let us know in comments on Discord. Tweet at us at the show or at Josh, and just let us know if just having the tournament up and running every weekend at a set time on Saturdays or something like that would be something you guys are interested in. There wouldn't necessarily be eShop gift cards to play for every weekend, but the one per month we can do. But if that's something you guys want just for the practice, the bracket practice, the elevated level of kind of tournament atmosphere. If that's something you guys want, let us know, and we can probably flip that switch and have it kind of running every weekend if that's something you guys want to do. Because once it's up and going, you guys check in yourselves, and striking and all that kind of stuff is done in the program on Smash.gg. So if you guys want to do that, we can facilitate that and give you a place to do that.
And not only that, but I want to hear from some of our like European listeners or people from across the pond, if setting it up at a different time, like a better time slot. I need to kind of get an idea when that time slot would be, so that that can kind of accommodate everybody, because maybe we do an early morning one as far as for people over here, but it ends up being evening over there, that kind of thing. So
or that can be like every other weekend we do that kind of, we can have alternating times.
Yeah, like an early morning and then a late night or whatever, or mid-afternoon. So so yeah, we want to keep getting everybody more and more ready for their local scene, that kind of stuff. And so if doing these online tournaments can help, then we're going to keep it going. And for the most part, we had a really we had a good turnout. I think over 60 people, or almost 60 people.
Close to 60, I think.
And I only expect this thing to grow. And as it grows, the prize pools are going to get better and stuff too. And other than I had to ban one person because they just were super rude, but they were across the pond and their connection was really bad. And so I've also come up with a solution for that, for if we get a message that the connection was bad, we're going to have moderators and admins that will host a room, and we'll watch it, and you'll have to play through the results are going to have to be through the laggy play, but the moderator will be there watching everything. And it kind of sucks, but I really don't know a better way to do it that will allow us to keep the thing moving forward, because you keep trying to go back and forth, and it can get frustrating.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Yeah, didn't you lagged fully out of a room, didn't you, during?
I hadn't touched my controller during the match, it shut everything down. We're pretty sure that's what happened. So, next.
Yeah, I wish that timer could be a little bit longer, but.
Yeah, and as long as I keep, if I keep the controller in hand, it seems to be okay. But next big tournament, guys, is Frostbite this coming weekend. Make sure to catch the streams. You're going to have Twitch streams from MVG League. Who else we got Twitch streams from, Crawler?
Unrivaled Tournaments and Gucci Gaming. There's kind of links. This is from Smash.gg. They listed these three as being the streams. And it's not, so you said this upcoming, so it's not this weekend as in the 16th and 17th. It is the 22nd and 20, I believe that, aren't those the dates? 22nd,
yeah.
23rd?
Yep, that's the dates.
Yep. So that's in Detroit is the location for that. And I'm pretty sure that friend of the show, Vicky Kitty, is commentating again, I believe.
Yeah. So
she'll be there as well. And then it looks like there's registration is closed. So if you guys are planning on going to that, it is closed. But I looked right as we were getting ready to go live, and it looks like they have over 1,250 entrants into.
It's amazing.
I'm not sure if that's all in Ultimate with singles and doubles, and then I think they have rivals of ether and stuff as well. But that's still looks. I mean, from the history of the tournament on Smash.gg, it just looks like they've been growing. So it's good to see kind of these different events that have popped up across different venues and all over the nation. They've been growing, so that's good.
Yeah, super great. Really, really enjoying some of this high level gameplay and just seeing what people are able to do with Ultimate and the stuff that's coming out. And it's really great seeing so many pros streaming, because that had kind of they weren't doing that too much, and now it's it seems to be something we're seeing more and more often. So I'm really, really stoked to see that. Also, Smash Summit voting is going on. It's almost over, so we have a link if you want to get your vote in. vote for your favorite pro, or maybe somebody from your local scene. That's what I ended up doing. Pandarian, I believe, is the person that I voted for. He's up here in Washington. So, cast your vote if there's somebody you want to see at Smash Summit. And then, this is not the best news here, but the Nintendo tournament, which is happening this weekend, guys, you can sign up on Battlefly. If you go to Battlefly, you can sign up there.
Is it still open? They might have maxed it out. I'm not positive.
Oh, well, that may be the case. So I don't know that either. I got the email today saying, hey, remember you're playing tomorrow.
Yeah, I got my Battlefly stuff today. Yeah, I'm signed up for both this weekend, and I think there's another one in March.
Yeah, 2 weeks after. So you'd have to go check. You may be able to sign up still. We don't know. But they showed some, what was it, like finals last week?
So the U.S., Mexico, and Canada are broken up into these regions, which aren't necessarily great representations of regions. I'm in Colorado, and I'm in the southeast region for some reason. I don't know. But so these regions had top 4 quarterfinal, like kind of finals that led to grands of your region, and the winner of grands in each region, each of the 3 tournaments that they're doing, are going to have invites to PAX East for these finals that I think isn't it called the North American Open? I think, isn't that what they're calling it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So winning your region on a said weekend. So finals, so the prelims that we're kind of talking about coming up this weekend, the prelims for last weekend were on February 2nd, I believe. So the following weekend is when you get to have those finals, and Nintendo brought out different commentators from the community in different locations. They were kind of region there, and they were calling the matches, and they had a central hub, I think, with Vicky Kitty was there, and Esam and Vish. Was it Vish?
There was I don't remember. Yeah. I watched the earlier portion of it. I didn't get to see the whole thing. So I think I saw TK Breezy, and I think E, because I remember seeing E's name actually show up during the stream versus at Genesis where his name didn't show up on the stream.
Yeah, that was great. That was a funny tweet that went out a couple weeks right after Genesis. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these are online competitions. They're with Nintendo's rule set, so it has items and smash balls and some stuff that probably contributes to a little bit of lag as well with all the stuff that happens on screen when you add items and final smashes and all that kind of stuff. But the biggest controversy was, I believe it was the Northeast finals. I'm not positive. I could go back and look at the VOD, but they were fighting, and they were on game 3. It was on Battlefield, and there was just the smallest hint of lag that started taking place, and Nintendo cut immediately out of the gameplay footage and back into the main studio at their kind of central hub. Not even the casters, it was just back for commentary kind of. And the biggest kind of thing that rubbed people the wrong way is that a producer or whoever was in the ear talking was like, that is viewer side lag. The players did not experience that. You will not. The pullers and levies. What did he say?
The pullers and levers are
being pulled, and you won't see that in the VOD. I went back and watched the VOD. You can see the lag.
Yeah.
But we all know, as playing on, if you played online at all, arena, quick play, whatever, lag happens. We've especially done viewer battles and stuff, and we've been in the viewer stands, and you experience it, and if you experience it, everyone's experiencing it. And it was kind of just a little insulting to have either Nintendo PR or whoever, the producer of the show, just put that out there, that we all know that that's not the truth, and it was kind of upsetting. But
it was, yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like had they just owned it, you know, like
Just say it's an online tournament and it happens. Like,
yeah, like it was, they weren't saving any face, unfortunately, you know, like, I mean, and the thing is, like, I saw this tweet that went out about it, you know, that was because I watched it happen online, like live, and I was just kind of like shaking my head, like, oh yeah, right, like that wasn't lag, you know. They said it was buffering or something. It's like, you know, we've all been on Twitch long enough that we know how this stuff works, and that wasn't buffering. So, just a strange, you know, you know that there was somebody that didn't want their head to roll, right? So they're like, let's cut so they don't see lag, you know. But it's like, who knows? Maybe something like this is going to get them tweaking netcode even further and trying to do what they can, because the Switch has one major issue when it comes to lag, and that is people that play wirelessly, maybe even docked, but still wirelessly. But then who knows how close they are to their router, that kind of stuff. Like you have so many different factors that are in here. And I mean, look, you said you're what, like in the southeast region, so
yeah. I can be matched up against people in Florida, and I'm in Colorado. That's not close, and they drew up these region maps, not the best.
Yeah, but. So you know, it's you're gonna have lag. I mean, we talked about it in our tournament. It's like you're gonna have lag. You have to, and you just have to, you know, you have to figure out a way. And the thing is, I'm sure the way they were filming that is they tell everybody, each player, hey, you're coming to this arena that they have, you know, that they're spectating.
Yep.
And you're going to assume that they're going to have the best connection possible. But if a player comes in and has a bad connection, there's not too much Nintendo can do about it, you know? Like, I don't know.
That's the nature of the beast. They set an online tournament. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, and you know, well, we're gonna get into Smash News here soon, but hopefully we will continue to see improvements from the online side of things. So let's move on over to Smash News. All right, so speaking of things getting fixed, there was a direct from Nintendo on 2/13. We have a link to it if you want to check it out. And update 3.0 is coming soon, before April. And this was this was so weird, right? It was like, Smash Bros. Is back, and version 3.0 is coming soon, and we'll tell you about it later. Like,
well, I mean, so the biggest question mark is less than 2 weeks ago 2.0 came out, like two weeks ago. Like that it's a big jump to go. We aren't getting any 2.1 anything. Like, it's just,
I'm wondering if adding characters means that they have to do a full update, you know?
That's what I'm assuming, but it's kind of weird that they're advertising. Well, I feel like they said, want to know what's in it? I feel like they don't know what's in it. Because they just updated the game, and they gave us a good amount of patch notes, which was great. But in 2 weeks' time, what have they had to fix? Unless, like, there was a lot of stuff maybe that they see on their end since certification went out. I don't know. But I mean, granted, their version that they've been playing on 2.0 longer than we have at QA at Nintendo. But I mean, it just seems odd that so quickly we're getting 3.0. But I don't think it's going to be as quick as we think, because they showed off Joker a little bit. Not showed him off. We saw a 3D model of him barely moving.
Yeah.
But at least we saw something that should be him kind of rendered, possibly in engine, most likely.
And he has a sword, doesn't he?
So he had like a longer dagger, short blade kind of thing.
Okay.
I have Persona 5. I've been meaning to try to sit down and play it, but that's like an 80-hour thing that I need to try to squeeze in.
You got all the time in the world. You're fine.
I did talk to a friend at work who had played through Persona, and he said that Joker has his blade and he has his gun, and he doesn't have both at the same time usually. So he'll probably sheath one and take it. So he was wearing a trench coat as well. So he's probably got his gun, I would think, kind of somewhere under his trench coat. But I'm hoping. I mean, we have gunplay in Smash. It's kind of a thing from that franchise as well. So I'm assuming we're going to see him with a gun and kind of Bayonetta style and
what, he can only shoot at an angle, he can't shoot straight?
Well, like Falco and Box, kind of like, it's just like 1% kind of tick damage kind of stuff.
Yeah. I got you. I mean, at least it was something, right? It just was so bizarre how it was like, do you want news on this? So do we. You know, like that's what was kind of weird. Like it was like this big buildup to like coming soon. Which
so I have it on here. Like, we've only heard Fighter 1 of the Fighter Pack. Do you think we see a Smash Direct before April?
That's a great question. I think we might see a YouTube video.
Okay.
Showcasing gameplay and version 3.0. I don't think it'll be a full-on direct for
you don't think they'd maybe outline more of the Fighter Pack?
The only way they would do a full-on direct is if they announced all the characters, but my gut feeling is there is still the potential, not saying that it is for sure because we haven't seen this yet with Joker, but I have a feeling that there may be some game tie-ins tied to some of the other characters releasing, and they might coincide with each other.
So it could be a Smash-centric direct with kind of, and it's out like Persona Q or whatever it's supposed to be, right? Like if Persona Q comes out, and then like if it is Isaac or something like that, or not Isaac. Wasn't it somebody from? Weren't the rumors like somebody from Dragon Quest or something like? I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, there's been quite a few different rumors, but the thing is too, like my guess for Joker and 3.0 will be a YouTube video. That's just my guess. You know, that's what we'll see. I don't know that we will see another, like, unless they do, like, the only thing I can see coming from Nintendo before E3 is a Nindies showcase. You know, that's the only thing I can see coming. But Dragon Quest Edric is the rumor. So and it could be that there's a small chunk of info at E3 for Smash DLC. They may announce everything there, you know. You've got to think, like, you have to know Nintendo probably took feedback from last year's E3 where it was like everybody was kind of like, why so much Smash and not many other games? And now this year, this last Direct came out, they announced everything kind of through, like, very few games in the fall. They kind of, again, announced everything through the summer, which E3 is right there. And then E3 is going to show up and there's going to be everything from summer on, right?
Yeah, and I hadn't really thought about the timing until you just said that. But what if at E3 because we know Fighter 1, and that's Joker, and that's gonna be April. They pretty much said that in the Direct this last week. So that's April. Take May off. June. What is the likelihood that we get 4.0 announced, detailed, dropped, available for download on what's Nintendo Tuesday? Is Nintendo Tuesday of E3 week?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, so Tuesday afternoon, 4.0 drops, Fighter Pack 2 drops. It's just there. It's day and date kind of thing. They drop it and it's live.
So as far as like what I kind of think will happen at E3, I think we may get a Piranha Plant style fighter, possibly. That's like a free to download thing, possibly. that's a Nintendo-based character. Patrick's saying Boom Boom. He was just in Aces. Boom Boom was. I unlocked him today. Patrick Murphy's also saying, I bet they announce at PAX where they conclude these North American tourneys. And that's another, I mean, why not? If they tease, hey, we're going to have Smash news at this tournament, it's going to bring in viewers, like,
yeah,
that's...
Well, because they did that. They did... what tournament was that? That was at Evo, right? That they did something for Ultimate. They announced at Evo during Smash 4 finals. I forget what it was, but it was something announcing Ultimate stuff. So they've definitely used third party kind of things, but they have their own presence at PAX, so that'll be good. So I mean, that's two potential like big kind of things. I would not be opposed to the stealth drop on the Tuesday of E3 if they wanted to do it then, but if they want to give us more information at PAX, I'd be all for that as well.
Well, and they may be waiting until this tournament's over before they drop another patch, right? Before they drop that update.
Yeah, because that'd be an unfair advantage for people that have played on 2.0 if they changed it kind of.
It would just kind of like if they end up nerfing somebody's character really bad, like it would be that would. And not when's
be PAX East at the end of?
I think it's end of March, like around the I think it's around the 29th that weekend, but I don't know for sure. So, but yeah, so I mean, kind of some cool stuff. I'm glad the direct happened. I'm glad we got something. Amiibos that were also shown off: Snake, Simon Belmont, Pokemon Trainer, Squirtle, Ivysaur. Charizard, they have the re-release out already. I saw them in my Best Buy today. I saw a bunch of Roys. Speaking of Best Buy, Cloud Player 2, as far as we can tell, only available at Best Buy. Player 1, only available at GameStop. And you can also pre-order anywhere Ken, Young Link, and Daisy. And at least it seems like all of the new ones that are releasing, not the re-releases, are not exclusive to anywhere as of yet. And I'm so thankful for that because that's so frustrating.
Yep. Yeah, everywhere I see, like, so Ken, Young Link, and Daisy popped up on Tuesday night, I believe, for pre-order. So Amazon has those, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, all the places. So if you have your said place that you like to get them, I think they've kind of been in and out maybe at some places, because I have seen Wario64 tweeting out different stuff saying they're back up possibly. So kind of keep an eye out for that if you're looking to do those. But I do know that I think you have a better chance of securing them if you do pre-order them, because I think they're kind of gauging interest on the printings of these, I think, based on pre-orders a little bit. So
all I saw in my Best Buy as far as the ones today was Ice Climbers and King K. Rool. There was no plant anywhere. I did not see a plant. I went to GameStop. I didn't see a plant. Like, I have a feeling the plant is going to be highly sought after. So if you see the opportunity to get it, I would not miss it, because it may be a hard one to come by. I would assume, just like they did with the last Amiibo, that they do a second run at least. Hopefully that is the case. But retail does not have the shelf space they did, like they did for Smash 4. Like, Amiibo at the Best Buy I go to are on the backside of where all the Nintendo stuff is, next to the DS stuff. And it's not a lot of retail space. Other places I went to today to check Amiibo, all they had was Animal Crossing. They didn't even have any of the new ones. They had a Dedede from the Kirby line and Animal Crossing ones, and that was it. And I was kind of surprised by that. So, and especially after we did that Amiibo show on Monday, and we've seen so many people get so hyped for training Amiibos, which is awesome. I kind of feel bad. Like, I want people to be able to get a hold of it. But I mean, I don't even know. Like, I think Mario and Link and stuff, those re-releases have come and gone.
Yeah, the Mario re-release I got at Target. So I think that was a Target exclusive. I think I missed my opportunity for Bowser and Rosalina rerun at Target. But I picked up this week as well. I picked up a total of 10 Amiibo this week. Mewtwo, Jigglypuff, and Sonic were up for reruns at Target, is where I got those this week. But I mean, and Best Buy at least seems to be pretty good about when they do pop up, they're up for pre-order. Cloud Player 1 was available for pre-order through GameStop. So I mean, so Target seems to be the one that kind of just, they come out and it's not a lot of prep for it. And the other two bigger places to get them seem to be Best Buy and GameStop. And you might have luck, but it's best if you see them for pre-order to grab them.
Absolutely, because they sometimes they go quick. So, and what's that other place? Five below, five down. What is
yeah,
it?
I think, I mean, depending on your region, like, because you have Fred Meyer out by you. I don't have. But I mean, if you have your kind of local areas, I think five below, I think is what it was called. I think that's further out east, because wasn't Grizz in New Jersey? Isn't that where he was?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so that might be an East Coast kind of thing, but everyone kind of has maybe their offshoot place that might have maybe some older ones hanging around, or that just might have amiibo that you wouldn't normally think of. So,
and if you are looking to train them, check OfferUp. Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Mercari is another one. I got a Ganondorf for $5. I had to meet somebody at McDonald's. She's like, my kid's trying to get money for a Switch. I'm like, cool, I don't care, but here's $5.
I would just be cautious on Amazon, just because there are so many other sellers. If you care about it, you might be getting a Japanese version or an EU version. So just, they all should scan the same. Is that right, Josh?
Yeah, they do. They're all the exact same.
They all scan the same, but if they're in box or something like that, you might see a little bit different stuff. The reprints do have Japanese on them. That's not a Japanese amiibo, but just so you're aware, the reprints will have Japanese on them.
So, Patrick's laughing at me in chat. I mean, I was excited for the kid that he was getting a Switch, but like, she was starting to tell me a really long story, and I'm like, I just want to go home. Please, here's your money.
It's a viewer, Josh. It's a viewer. You could be just cultivating viewership.
Oh, make sure to tell your kid that I host the Smash Bros. Cast. No.
It's family friendly.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so with that, we're gonna move over into our talking points here. All right, so we mentioned last week that like beginner tips are something that we want to kind of look at again, because we went over a lot of beginner stuff early on. And so we're going to talk some beginner tips, and then we're going to follow up with our week in Smash and hopefully have some more advanced strategies, or at least things that we're doing that will hopefully help you, so that we can kind of cover the spectrum of wherever you guys are at. So if you are well past the beginner stage, some of this stuff may not be all that relevant to you. You may want to fast forward, but if you are just starting out, we want to make sure that that no one gets left behind here. So first thing is, once you have your main, and that's a question that often comes up, how to choose your main. You just need to play characters. You need to see who resonates with you. Look, I'm a Mario fan. I was like, I'm going to learn Mario. Like, period. I'm going to learn Mario. And so that's what I did. It turned out that he's an okay, as far as on the tier list or whatever. But honestly, I don't really care. Right? We've seen, if you look at the history of Melee and the way the tier list would go, and then all of a sudden people are winning with Jigglypuff, and it's no longer just Fox on Final Destination, right? It just kept evolving as players got better and better with the character. Play with who you like. Have fun. There's so many viable options in Ultimate that you don't have to look at a tier list and go, okay, I'm going to pick the top. Play with who you're going to have the most fun with. One of the things I love about doing the viewer battles or even watching tournaments is the variety of characters that we see. There's such a huge variety. So there's hopefully there's somebody out there that there's a character out there that you really can resonate with, and just play a bunch of them until one of them does. Right? There's no there's no like specific formula for picking your main. Patrick Murphy says DDD, my low tier fantasy. Yeah, I mean Patrick loves DDD and he plays him very well, and so I think it's great. I think it's great. There's a lot to learn. You just got to be willing to put the time in, and that's one of the things that like I will say, like I have a backlog of other games because I focused my time on Smash. Right? Crawler, same boat, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I picked up Kingdom Hearts 3 this week, and I haven't even put it in my PlayStation yet.
Yeah. Yeah, so... And because we're always going back to Smash, right? And so... It's been a huge commitment.
Tetris now, too. Tetris that was great this week.
Tetris is great because you just, like, 5 minutes and you're good, you know? Like, you get a couple of matches in, you're good to go. The thing is... If you want to get good with this game, you have to put the time into it. This isn't just like I'm going to pick up and play it, period. Like you need to practice this like it's just like it's anything. If you're learning an instrument, if you're trying to hone any kind of a craft, you're not going to do it without putting some time in. So you have to expect a time investment. And it's that cliche saying, like you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And so, so pick your main and start learning the fundamentals for that character. Okay. Look at Nick Lope says the RPG analogy is my favorite. That was from Zero. Zero said like he looks at Smash like an RPG, and the longer you play it, the more you level up as a fighter, right? As it's not that you see the levels, but you see your improvement. And that's really what it is. Like, and so, fundamentals for your character, that's going to be huge. Okay. You want to learn your moveset, and I'm talking everything, right? When we say moveset, we're talking,
know all your tilts, know all your aerials,
yep.
Know all your smash attacks, know your special attacks, understand limitations on how far those will take you, or like especially when it comes to like recoveries or just movement around the stage, like what it can do. Notice how long it takes you to be able to do another move. So I mean, those special attacks are going to have a decent amount of end move lag, and same with like charged up smash attacks. So kind of get an understanding of how you can, and that kind of bleeds into understanding combos. So you can spend time in the lab, or even just as you're learning with a sparring partner, or if you just want to brave it out and drop into quick play, just seeing what kind of moves you're able to string together that allows you to be more comfortable with your moveset, and then evolve those into combos, eventually true combos. There might be something that you can, now that we've kind of been in this game for 2 months now, there might be starting to be some videos popping up that are a little bit easier to understand. But that also comes with even videos that don't break it down quite clearly. If you really, really, really understand the moveset of your character, then you can look at a video and maybe slow it down a little bit and recognize, oh, that was a down air, that was an up air, that was a back air, and see how those combo videos on YouTube, you're able to break them down without having the content creator having to tell you what they were doing.
Exactly. All that. The a lot of what Crawler just said is some of the stuff's going to take place in the lab, in the training mode with a bot that doesn't move, and you're going to just practice these things over and over and over again. And I heard from people in the Discord this week that are like, I hate being in the lab. I hate practicing this stuff. And I mean, I get it, right? Because it's not super exciting, but like I can tell you from my experience, all of my improvements have come from the time I spend in the lab. And I spend more time in the lab than I spend in quick matches, right? So those times that I'm like, okay, I have a half hour maybe before I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to play I'm gonna play Smash, I jump into training. If I know we're traveling somewhere, my wife's gonna be driving, I'll bring my Switch, and I will lab handheld a lot, and then I'll go in and lab with the controller, and then I'll go into quick match. And that's kind of my practice regimen. Like, I will learn something, then dock the Switch, do it with the GameCube controller, make sure I feel comfortable with it, then go into quick play and start playing. And this is all a process that takes it like, we've been at this for like, we're getting close to a year now, right? Like we're coming up on a year. And I've said this on the show, I probably said it last week, like it can look daunting and overwhelming, and you're going to watch things, right? The next video that we're going to talk about, like in our beginner tips, I'm going to put the first Izaw Smash video, the Art of Smash, right? For beginners. That's going to be this week's video. You guys can check it out. We'll have the link in the show notes. You're going to spot some things that you might go, I don't need that. It's not useful. But as you progress, you're going to remember back. What I'm talking about specifically is like landing lag, and how you can like decrease your landing lag by, like, with certain characters by doing your up air right before you land. Right? So as a Mario main, and they showcase a Fox, and this was true for Smash 4 as well, if you short hop, throw your up air, and then throw it again right before you land, you can immediately jump and throw that up air again. If you don't throw that up air, you're going to have landing lag. It's going to be slower. And I remember seeing that, and I was like, this is useless to me, right? Like, not that it was useless, but I saw it and I'm like, now I'm like, okay, when I need to start implementing this. Whereas before I'm like, I'm not at that level yet, right? And so just kind of keep a mental checklist. In the Discord this week, shout out to Icy, Jigglypuff main has a Google Doc, like a spreadsheet of true combos, combos that can kind of work, how to rest combos, that kind of stuff. Looks like, well, we have a little minor technical difficulty. You're back?
Yep.
You're back. Okay. Here we go.
Stream back up?
Stream is back up. We just had a weird hiccup is all. It just said welcome to the chat room. So that's odd. Never stopped recording me. You were just frozen solid. So anyway, we're doing it live. I get a message from Crawler saying, did you go down? So, and I see that Twitch went all red. So anyway, we're back live though. But shout out to Icy, because he's got a spreadsheet for everything that Jigglypuff, like, you know, this works at this percent. This works at this percent, you know, so on and so forth. Like, I'm like, that's crazy dedication right there. But like, if you really want to learn your character, get your spreadsheet out and.
Well, yeah, and that goes back to when we at Genesis, I think was it Dark Wizzy and Salem? I think Salem said this is the first game he's like taken notes on in a long time. Like he had a notepad next to him. I think wasn't that interview?
I believe so. I'll have to I need to make sure that interview's up. I don't think it's actually up anywhere. So we'll have to make sure we get that up because it was really good.
But yeah, I mean, just taking notes on what works. I mean, it's there's so many different matchups and so many different percentage opportunities that you could be in, that your opponent could be in. So all sorts of different things that can be kill confirms and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's daunting.
It's daunting, but at the same time, I mean, look at Kingdom Hearts is 80 hours, right? I don't know. I'm throwing out a number there, but I mean, pick any like massive JRPG, or I mean, look, even if you're big into Fortnite or the new Apex game, like you're going to put hours and hours and hours into that game to improve. And you may not even be thinking about it like you think about Smash, but the more you play Smash, the better you're going to get at it. Right? Like that's that's the truth. That's same for any, for any games. Delmonix says it's like 25 hours. Well, there you go. I don't know, Breath of the Wild, 120 hours, right? That's what I'm at on that game anyway. So
but I'm worse now at Breath of the Wild if I go back in because I haven't played it.
right. Yep. Yeah. So, again, get the fundamentals of your character, lab those things out, get your move set down, right? Understand the terminology for things. Back air, people say bear, nair, neutral air, fair, forward air, up air, right? Like, learn the terminology so that you can understand. The other thing that I would suggest doing, so moveset, recovery, combos, and then finishers. Like, how can you finish somebody off? Like, as Mario, I find myself relying too heavily on doing a downward tornado and throwing a forward smash. Sometimes it hits, sometimes I get punished for it. In the lab, oftentimes if I get the bot near the edge at a high percent, like 70, 80, I can down throw to an affair, and that's a kill. That's a spike that, like, I'm not sure that it's true. I still have to find that out, but.
And that's the thing. It might be true at like a small 20% window.
Correct. Yeah. Because it definitely, you get too high, then that down throw, they bounce up way higher than just your jump. So that's the great thing about taking the notes is like, okay, am I making sure that what percent this works, what percent this works? I know that anywhere from 0 to 40 to 50, I can up throw into up air, right? That's happening. That's happening. So, I think that's going to kind of, anything else that you want to cover for this week's just kind of beginner stuff?
I mean, it is all right that like there are some characters that don't have a great, like, big amount of actual combos, but they could be more reactionary characters. The two of my main characters, Roy and Corrin, don't really have a lot of building kind of combos that can go off that, but they have great tools to have stage control or be reactionary to opponent mistakes and that kind of stuff. So it's all about kind of understanding what your character excels at and kind of what kind of play style you want to have, and then learning that, adopting that, and kind of just making it your own.
One of the things we talked about early on is how what happens is as you pick something to practice, and I think this is important, it's something we really tried to drive home early on with this show, is practice with intention, right? Because you can go into training and do just a bunch of nothing and leave no better, right? Practice with intention. Why are you
worse,
there?
Because if you're doing bad habits and you're relying on those bad habits, then you can be worse off.
Absolutely. So what we said early on is practice with intention. And as you practice these things become second nature. You start to kind of like just throw them into the arsenal. They just become something that you will do. And then you can continue building upon that foundation. And I remember even talking about that and feeling like this is never going to happen. And to be perfectly honest now, I feel like every week I'm just doing more and more to add to my to add to my arsenal and to improve as a player. And what's great is I throw up my Twitch clips and things like that, and I have people comment like, you've really improved over the last week, or like people that are kind of tracking with me on Twitch and stuff, they can see that. And I don't throw that out there to toot my own horn. I throw that out there because I want you guys to understand that if you invest the time and you practice intentionally, you can be doing the exact same thing. Like, I'm so excited for my next local. Even if I get beat down, I'm so excited to show up there and have a completely different Mario than when I did over a month ago, and I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. So with that, we're going to move on over to just our week with Smash. All right. So, Crawler, how's this week been for you?
In little bit of time in Smash, but not a ton. My free moments have kind of been occupied by Tetris, and then I've also tried to get back into God of War a little bit. But the time I have spent, it's been up and down. I mean, the most, if I'm getting time in Smash, it's unfortunately usually in quick play, which can be a little frustrating sometimes. But I've been back on that Corrin train a little bit, just making sure I'm trying to play. I almost need to remind myself every time that it's not always important to be pushing the offensive. Like, I can, especially if you can get stage control, you can sit back and like I was talking about just a little bit earlier, wait for them to make a mistake. And especially if you have a percentage advantage, if you have stage control in the middle, you can be in the driver's seat and kind of let them try to make that mistake on approach. So I've sometimes, like we've talked about before, kind of fallen into autopilot where I get aggressive with too much side B or something like that. But if I'm going into it and I'm thinking about it, which I need to be doing more, is I'm just thinking about trying to slow down my approach and just try to be in control of the match. That's kind of what I've been working on.
No, that's great, man. I mean, even when we've played, I'm like, throw nairs, because it seems like Corrin can be such a defensive character that you can wall people out with those nairs and they hit behind you, right? So if you do end up facing the wrong way and you short hop nair, you're still doing damage to that person. You know, there's a good chance anyway. And so
I struggled against Palutena on quick play just because she's got a better nair.
Got you. Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, but I mean, it's also just getting those. I think I've came up on some different matchups this week as well. I had a Meta Knight that I did not know what to do with. Like, he's got teleport around a little bit. He's got damage in and out of his teleport. He's got that side B that doesn't commit suicide now. I feel like it stops at the edge now, so it's a little, people that know how to use it, it's pretty crazy. And then I had what ended up being a pretty close match against Palutena. I think I ended up losing it at the end, and then I got completely destroyed by a 3.6 million GSP Wii Fit trainer that just, I think, killed me before I could even do damage to her on one stock. It was, so I mean, that's also getting some of those matchups that maybe I can recognize that I either don't know how to handle or and want to learn, so I can try to figure out if maybe Roy is the best option against that character, or if there's a way to understand it to find ways to win with Corrin.
Chat's asking what your GSP is at right now.
Right now, I don't know. I think I'm right around 2 million. I got to my highest this week. I think I was just shy of 3.4 with Corrin this week, but it's been an up and down week. Yeah.
I think my Mario right now is sitting right at 2 million. But like I said last week, if I find somebody that beats me, I keep rematching them until they leave, because it's just great matchup practice. Honestly, that's kind of where I'm at. And so it's hard to watch those points go down, right? But I've also been, my time in quick play, dude, I've been laying the smackdown on some people, and that's super fun, right? Because it's like, this is kind of the like celebrating the fruit of my labors. Like, there's some, like, a lot of times I find myself now getting to that point where I'm just watching my opponent, and I'm like, there's where I'm going to punish it right there, you know?
Like, I think you have a new favorite stage, probably, right? I think the stage I've seen the most ladder combos on is PS2.
It's PS2 and Yoshi's Story. That one I hit a ladder combo this week against a Kirby, and it didn't get the explosion kill. It got the off into the background kill, which I wasn't expecting to see. So that was pretty cool. But and that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like those ladder combos, those are the result of working in the lab, right? Like I don't even know if I mentioned it last week, but I hit like a 6-hit ladder combo, right? With a fast fall to the platform, then back up to keep the combo alive, and like that is strictly the result of being in the lab. And just working those up airs, and I get a lot of kills with my up air. Like that ends up being a big, quite a useful tool for me trying to finish people off.
And it's also an aerial that you can easily throw multiple times in the same jump, which, I mean, that leads you just to racking up that damage a little bit.
Yeah, and so one of the things that might help you guys. If you're playing with a character that you can use up airs, I jump with trigger and use the up on the C stick, right? And so, but I found myself immediately fall into a bad habit. Every time I would jump, I would hit the C stick at the same time. So I wasn't able to read where my opponent was. I was making the assumption and I was missing a lot of attacks. Now I'm starting to like, if they're trying to fall, instead of me jumping again, I'll hit the up air a second time and then go into the up B, right? Or I can also combo into a fair. And so I did finally pull that off against somebody in quick play, against a Roy. That's up on my Instagram and stuff.
You were mean to that Roy.
Yeah. I did bully him kind of. But so, you know, those are the kind of things like you can go and lab something and then realize, oh, I've just labbed a bad habit, right? So it's something to keep in mind too. Like, yeah, I practiced my up airs while jumping with trigger. And then I realized that like, oh, I've fallen into a bad habit here and I need to adjust. And then so I would mentally work on that so that I was landing more of those attacks consistently.
Yeah. I notice a bad habit I have now that I've moved more to short hop attacks with the shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
I almost struggle to throw an aerial without accidentally hitting the shortcut. So I burn an extra jump, or I do something where I could have been at a certain height and thrown a fair or thrown a nair, and I accidentally just muscle memory hit Y with A and burn an extra jump, or just pop myself up so that my attack isn't even effective. So that's
exactly what I'm talking about. Like that's exactly
it's a great shortcut to have. It's a great tool to have to use that for the short hop, but it's also something you have to think about in your head. If you're falling, you don't need to throw the shortcut for short hop because you're already in the air. You're already going to throw that aerial C stick or just A, and that's something I need to work on as well.
Yeah. But I will tell you guys, as I've worked on it, it's gotten better, right? So it's just, you just start seeing your strengths, your weaknesses, and you keep improving on that and working on it. I've said this for multiple weeks. I finally figured out back airs, right? Like I finally figured it out. And what I was doing wrong is I wasn't throwing the combination of moves fast enough. It is, I don't know that I can explain it very well.
Like a buffer issue, or?
It's not even, so what I was doing before is I was under the assumption, and I talked about it on here, and I was under the assumption that I could not throw a back air out of Foxtrot because I would always throw the fair. Okay. And what I realized in the lab this week is I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to enter this input faster. And Euphoric Weasel, he just nailed it. He says it's like a domino effect, and he's absolutely right. It's literally left stick, back, jump, right stick, and it's like it's that. But it's like, I mean, we're talking within like in a second, right? You can't
less than
exactly. Yeah, it's like you're talking milliseconds, right?
You got frames. Yeah, you got frames.
And so what I realized is like, oh, wow, I can do this, but I need to move the controls way quicker than what I was. And I figured this out handheld on the Switch, then brought it to my controller and started pulling them off, and then started. And Euphoric Weasel he's in chat right now. He is and you too. You guys will come in and be like full hops, right? And I'm like, man, like even when I feel like I'm improving, they're still like full hops, and it has improved my game to learn, because, and I had some people ask me too, like, why don't you want a shortcut? Why don't you want to use the shortcut for short hops? And it's because I don't want to be tied to trying to hit those two buttons and then move to an attack. I want to be able to just quickly tap and move, because I feel like it's a quicker movement to just lightly tap and then move to my attack button versus fully pressing and then moving my thumb off and like I said, I love using that trigger to jump as well, because then my thumb is on that C stick and I don't have to be moving my thumb. It's in one place, right? It's in one place. So I'm kind of strange. My playstyle is when I'm running and doing back airs, I'm C stick and trigger. But when I'm working on just like my short hops and trying to approach with a short hop or with a nair, I'm using the X button as my jump. I believe it's X. Let me make sure I never really look at this.
X is to the right.
Sorry,
side,
Y.
Above.
I'm using Y.
Y.
So,
yeah. Nintendo controllers are already weird, and then they made the game
right,
even weirder.
Controller. Right. So that's been huge for my gameplay this last week, because and honestly, movement in general, my gosh, I'm such a nerd, but I literally would go into the lab, and I would throw back airs until the muscles in my hands were burning, because I would throw as many as I could, as fast as I could, and then I would just have to stop and wait for the muscles to stop aching, and then I would start again. That's how dedicated I am to getting these back airs down and getting my movement quick, that I'm pushing my hands into the point of muscle failure and I'm stopping.
Straight up at Genesis, Dark Wheezy and Salem had hand warmers in their
Yeah.
When we were interviewing them.
Yeah, they did. They never let their hands cool down. So, I mean, that's even talking about it, I feel like such a geek, but I'm like, you know what? I want to get, I look at the way pros move and I don't move that way. And I want to get to that point. And I think the only way I'm going to, for me personally, I can't just go in and try to mail in the moves. I have to be focused and on my game. Right. And the more that I've practiced this, the faster I'm getting, and the more I'm seeing the fast fall come into play while I'm playing. I watched somebody anticipate even a full hop that I then fast fell to down air, and they couldn't do. I know what they were anticipating, being able to catch me. My fast fall to down air caught them and then chained into another combo. Right. So it's this week's been amazing for me. Honestly, I've had so much fun, just so much fun playing Smash, And then the last thing is just matches have become more like a chess match, and sometimes getting down to that last stock, both characters are at 150%, and it's who's going to. I had an Ike that I was he was at 3.6 million GSP. I was at 1.6 going into the match. I got the grab to the back throw, and I got the spark, I got the slow motion, and he DI'd out of it. Came down. I went to jump over him, and he caught me with that. I think it's a. I don't know if it's if it's nair or what it is, but the sword goes real high. He caught me, and that got the kill. I wasn't able to DI, and so, but I wasn't mad. I was like, you know what? This I feel like I'm learning these matchups and improving. That okay, rematch, and he ended up leaving. I didn't get to play him again, unfortunately, but
he didn't want to risk it when he saw how low your GSP.
That's probably true. So, all right. Well, Crawler, where can people find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in the N64Josh Discord. You guys can go to n64josh.com/discord. We'll get you the invite in there. Come say hello. There's lots of people. We got arenas up all the time. Different people asking for different matchup kind of advice and sparring partners. So hop in and do that. Also, you guys can follow me on Twitter, Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E. You can also follow my Twitch channel, Nightcrawler74 as well, without the E. I played a little bit of Tetris this week, but we'll definitely want to try to get back into a little more variety, but then also getting back into Smash, and we'll get some viewer battles or something going.
Guys, this week we have Myron. I actually we have 2 shows on Sunday, so just letting you know.
We have another one.
Yeah, one at 10, one at 11. So, just throwing that out there. That's happening this Sunday. We're doing them live. You can come tune in if you want. Twitch.tv/N64Josh. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all the places at N64Josh. Smash School. I've had a lot of people very interested in this. We're going to start it. I think I might do the first one Sunday morning at 9 a.m. I don't know what it looks like. We're going to kind of just figure this thing out together. And so I'll be live on Twitch Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come hang out, and we will... We'll just figure it out as we go. But basically, if you're a beginner and you need help, this is going to be for you. Like, I'm going to play you, and then I'll give advice right there as we're playing, some coaching or whatever, as much as I can, and hopefully get some others involved too that are more skilled than I am. So, if you guys are enjoying the show, make sure to rate and review on iTunes. Share with your friends. We appreciate it, guys. We'll see you later. Bye now.